Have you ever invested in a home upgrade that you later ended up regretting? Or maybe you just bought a house and you're thinking on your Pinterest board of all the home upgrades you want to do, and you're wondering which ones are a waste of money? In today's video, I'm going to share with you 7 of the home upgrades that people regret the most. My name's Carrie, a designer here at Penny Modern, and I have scoured the internet for the best expert opinions, the best real estate advice, as well as reviewing tons of different homeowner experiences to bring you these awesome home upgrades that seem wonderful until reality hits. Some of these home upgrades can completely drain your wallet. They also can actually lower your home's resale value, and they also can just be a maintenance nightmare. I've also listed these in order from least expensive to most expensive, so don't miss the one at the end, which is the ultimate money pit for some people. So let's kick things off with a home upgrade that's actually using a very old material that people are embracing again, and it's becoming much more popular, and that is plaster. A lot of people buy a home much like we did, and they don't like the fireplace facade that the home has come with. And they decided to do a very sleek and smooth plaster fireplace that they actually plaster over the existing fireplace. And this creates a very sleek and modern aesthetic, which really goes well with the organic modern style or maybe a Scandinavian design, but it does have some drawbacks. Why would someone regret plastering over the front of their fireplace? A lot of people regret actually covering up some of the original character of the home. So although this is definitely not original brick, so this is something the previous homeowner did, a lot of fireplaces are the original brick fireplace. And when you cover that up, you're taking away some of the historic character and charm, because a lot of people, they just don't make fireplaces like that anymore, right? And you're covering up some of the historical character of the home. And when you use plaster, it actually becomes really hard to reverse that change. So some people kind of regret taking out that charm and covering up all the brick, because once you do it with plaster, you can't really bring back the brick, right? There's no really going back. And according to Zillow, although plastering over your fireplace really isn't that expensive to do, it could make you miss out on money if you're going to resell your home. According to Zillow, fireplaces that are original to the home, that have that original character, those homes can sell for 5% more than fireplaces that have been redone. And that can be quite a bit of money, especially if you're in a historic neighborhood. In addition, when you plaster, it actually can expand and contract with hot and cold, and then it can crack. So you may have to end up redoing the plaster every few years just to cover up the cracks. Doing the plaster can actually be a very difficult change to reverse or change again. So if you get sick of it, or the style isn't having these beautiful plaster fireplaces anymore, it's very hard to change it after you make that upgrade. So instead of plaster, what could you do to refresh your fireplace? You can do things like painting the brick. So you could use a high heat paint and actually paint the brick, which I'm actually considering to do here. You also could do like a lime wash or a whitewash. If you have a lot of darker brick, you could lighten it up by doing a whitewash on it. And then you also could just do a stone veneer, and you also could do removable tile. So I have seen, if you do have flatter, larger tiles on your fireplace, you can actually put peel and stick tile over it. So those are a couple options that maybe you could have as a temporary solution versus completely plastering over your fireplace. If you're thinking about upgrading your countertops, much like I am on my kitchen that's very dated in the house that we just bought, then you're gonna wanna hear this next one. So these countertops that I'm gonna tell you about are actually becoming very trendy and very modern, minimalist, brutalist, and even farmhouse inspired kitchens. And they are concrete countertops. Countertops that are made out of concrete are very customizable, and they actually can be DIY'd, so they can be very budget friendly. And they're becoming very popular, especially in those very ultra modern, minimalist, as well as those brutalist inspired homes. A lot of homeowners that really like that modern updated style are opting for these concrete countertops, And the reason why they're coming to regret them later, it might surprise you. Although you can get concrete countertops to give you a very sleek, modern industrial look, the issue is it's extremely porous. So that means that liquids can actually get into the material and stay there and stain it. So anything from coffee to wine to oil, it can go into the surface of your countertop and it can stain it permanently. And I know I'm gonna get some comments down below about what about sealing the concrete countertops. And yes, you can seal it, but it does wear off. So that is part of the issue. Then you have all this maintenance that you're constantly having to do. According to the National Association of Home Builders, over 30% of homeowners who install concrete countertops actually report dissatisfaction due to the staining and the maintenance issues. No matter how well the concrete is poured, there is another issue. It can develop hairline cracks over time. So it is vulnerable to things like thermal expansion as well as settling, and it can develop these tiny little hairline cracks in it. And that is definitely in contrast to other materials like quartz or this granite here that is almost indestructible. The concrete does have to be a little bit more prone to those hairline cracks. If you are dead set on getting concrete countertops, you do need to remember a few things. It needs to be sealed twice a year. It also, you can't really set any hot pans on it. It is heat resistant, but not heat proof. And you definitely want to avoid chopping anything directly on the countertop because that could give you those hairline cracks. What is an alternative if you don't want to do the concrete but you like that look? You actually can get quartz that looks a lot like a concrete countertop, and it gives you that gray, beautiful industrial feel to it, but it's made out of quartz, which is going to be more resistant to stains, more resistant to heat, and more resistant to cracking. The other thing you could do, I actually saw these at IKEA. IKEA has laminate countertops or kind of a veneer countertop if you're on a major budget, and those actually look like concrete as well. And I'll link to those down in the description. Let me know down in the comments below, do you love the idea of concrete countertops? Or if not, what is your go-to when it comes to countertop? Let us know down in the comments below. This next one is for you fashion lovers. So who hasn't ever had a dream of having a gigantic, luxurious, boutique style walk-in closet? Imagine having all of your clothes in there, all of the shelves you could have for your different handbags or for your shoes, beautiful lighting, maybe even a dressing table to really elevate your space. And one way that people have done that is by turning a spare bedroom into this gigantic walk-in closet. Before you knock down any walls, you need to discover the long-term consequences of turning your spare bedroom into a walk-in closet. So one of the biggest things that it's going to do is it can affect your home's resale value. So if you actually reduce your bedroom count and you change one room into a closet, it can affect the resale value because the value of your home is based on how many bedrooms it has typically. Especially this is true if you have a 3-bedroom home that you turn into a 2-bedroom because you turn one of those bedrooms into a walk-in closet. That can dramatically reduce your home's resale value. Now, if you have a 5 or 6-bedroom home and you turn one of those into a walk-in closet, it might not be as dramatic of a difference, but not as many people have that many bedrooms, right? According to the National Association of Realtors, a home with fewer bedrooms can actually resell for $10,000 to $30,000 plus less on average than other similar homes. And many home buyers actually prioritize the number of bedrooms over having a walk-in closet, so that can affect even if they're willing to purchase the home. One thing you can do as an alternate to turning your bedroom into a permanent walk-in closet is to get a modular closet system. So instead of removing some of the features that are inside that room, you can just add some shelving that could be temporary. That way, if you ever were to resell your home, it can easily convert back to a bedroom. If you're watching this video because you're thinking about doing a home makeover or a room makeover, and I have a great free resource for you if you are doing that, and it's my room makeover planner and checklist. And this is a really fun worksheet that you can use to help you plan your project, and it's gonna help you plan a budget, figure out what you wanna keep, what you wanna get, and it'll just make it a little bit easier process. And there's even room for a little bit of a layout and stuff like that. So download your copy today over at pennymodern.com/freebies. And that link is down in description. The next home upgrade that people tend to regret is actually one for the bathroom here. And we're thinking about redoing our bathroom. And this one is actually around bathtubs. So a lot of people really love to have a very luxurious bathtub, and it's been on their list of upgrades that they're dreaming about, right? It could be those spa bathtubs that have the jets. It might have some bells and whistles. It might be an oversized soaking tub. So that is on a lot of people's list, to have that dreamy, luxurious spa-like bathroom. For some people, they just really love baths and they want to have that luxury spa-like experience. And other people actually think that a spa or jetted tub will actually increase their home's resale value. However, the reality doesn't always match the dream. So House reports that over 60% of people that install these spa-like bathtubs actually don't even use them. Here's a couple of other reasons why people regret installing a spa-like tub. Would be, first of all, that they can take a very long time to fill. They can use on average between 60 and 80 gallons of water, and sometimes it can take 10 to 15 minutes to fill the tub. So by the time it's full, you've lost the urge, I guess, to take a bath, and maybe the moment has passed. In addition, these very high-end spa-like baths can be very expensive to operate. They can require obviously a lot of money in order to heat up the water, but also to run the jets and things like that. The other drawback that a lot of people don't realize until after they install them is those jets on a tub can actually harbor things like soap scum, mold, and bacteria. And that's inside the pipes. So they're recommended to clean the jetted tubs at least once a month. And that way you're preventing a lot of the bacteria. And a lot of people don't realize that until after they install them. If you think a spa tub is actually going to increase your home's value, you need to think again, because a lot of homeowners think that they do require a lot of upkeep and they're expensive to operate. And honestly, I've seen the technology on them actually gets out of date and the jets look old pretty quickly. And so it can be very unattractive after 5 or 10 years. It can be a turnoff in terms of reselling your home. So instead of doing a bulky, high maintenance spa tub, what could you do instead? You could just opt for the regular shower tub combo and maybe get higher end materials like a higher end tile for your walls. The other thing that you could do is get one of those very more modern but compact freestanding soaking tubs. So that doesn't have the jets inside, so it's not gonna have those maintenance issues. So if you really want that luxury look, you can get that for your bathroom and have more of that freestanding tub. This next home upgrade is definitely for you chefs that love cooking. And it is something that almost every home chef dreams of, and that is high-end appliances. So when we purchased this house very recently, we decided to upgrade or just replace our appliances because they were not so functional. They were very, very old. We got middle of the road appliances. However, some people, when they buy a house, they want to go all out and get the high-end brand of appliances like a Wolf, a Sub-Zero, or a Viking. Some homeowners do splurge and get those high-end appliance packages, maybe because they want to impress their friends or they think it's going to be doing a better job when you're cooking. But what average homeowners find out is a lot of these high-end appliances function just exactly the same as mid-grade appliances. There's really not much difference in how they actually perform over time. The other thing to note is that these high-end appliances have a very high price, and also as soon as you take them home from the showroom floor, they start depreciating and losing their value. And so a lot of people think, oh, this is gonna up my home's resale value, but actually it's not doing what you think. The other thing that people don't realize with these high-end appliances is that repairs can be extremely costly. So even though you might have just a common issue with your fridge or your stove, getting that repair could cost hundreds, if not thousands of dollars when you have a $10,000 fridge or stove. Also, these high-end appliances can sometimes have technology that gets outdated quickly. So if you have these touch screens, Wi-Fi enabled, and all these bells and whistles, that technology can actually become outdated fairly quickly, even though you're paying a premium for it. And I think splurging on high-end appliances, if you are in a very median price point or average priced home, also may not be the best decision because a lot of consumers aren't really expecting those homes to have those high-end appliances. Now, if you're in a very high-end expensive area where everybody expects the homes to have those high-end appliances, that could be a little bit different story. But what could you do instead if you do just have an average home? You can do things like just get the mid-grade appliances that are tried and true. So brands like a Bosch, we went with LG, there's also GE, all those middle range brands, and always look for the consumer reports or some of the ratings and do your research online. I actually have a couple of videos on this channel that do some reviews of some of the appliances that we have bought and used over the years. Next up, we have something that happens to garages. So sometimes people move into a home and maybe it is a smaller home and they are wanting to convert their garage into an extra living space. Should be easy, right? So that can cost anywhere from $10,000 to $50,000 and up to turn your garage into something. Maybe it's like a gym, maybe it's an office, or maybe it's an extra bedroom. Here's why some people regret doing that garage conversion. So it's because many home buyers actually expect there to be a garage, and homes without garages can sell for between 10 and 15% less than homes with a garage. So that is definitely something to consider if it's not your forever home. Also, a study done in 2023 by Realtor.com showed that homes with a garage sell much faster as well as for more money than homes without a garage. You may be spending all this money to convert your garage and it actually is going to possibly lower the value of your home, potentially. It does add some livable square footage, so you have to consider the trade-offs there. Now, one thing to consider is that you're going to be losing a lot of storage space. Obviously, for us, we have so much stuff in our garage. We have bikes, we have a fridge, we have the washer dryer, and we use all our seasonal storage. So that is one of the big things that you're losing, valuable storage space. You're also losing a place to put your car, which is what a garage is designed for. And if you live in a place that has a lot of snow and ice in the winter, having a garage can be a deal breaker for a lot of people. Instead of fully converting your garage into another room, you may just want to do some temporary solutions. So my husband is basically setting up a gym in our garage and a bike studio. He does his bike here on a stationary bike, but you also could put in, if you wanted to redo the floors, you could do epoxy flooring. You also could do some kind of removable or floating floor. If you want to make it look nice, you also could obviously put in some drywall and make the sides nice, maybe remove some of the storage if you have a shed outside, and just make it so that if you were to ever leave the home or resell your home, it could easily be converted back to a garage. The next item on our list is actually that biggest potential money pit that I told you about at the beginning, and it's actually something that we have in our house that we just bought. It came with the house, but this is an upgrade that many people want to have or they dream about, and that is having a backyard pool. People sometimes install either above ground or in-ground pools to their home after purchasing. And here is my thoughts in terms of if this upgrade is really worth it if your home doesn't have one already. There is no doubt that a pool can actually just scream luxury, and it's great for entertaining and having parties. And that's one of the reasons that we bought it, was to have parties with our family, because we have tons of family that live nearby. But some of the cons of the backyard pool, I think the biggest one is actually if you pay to install it yourself, it can cost anywhere from $20,000 to $50,000 to even up to $100,000 here in California, and it's very expensive to install. And the downside is actually that they don't add a ton of value to your home, and there's some people that actually won't buy your home at all if you have a pool because they're very averse to having pools. The other downside is actually people don't realize that there is a ton of maintenance. So there's not only the pool cleaning and pool chemicals, but you have to do the filters, you have to resurface the pool every so often. You also have to upgrade the equipment and maintain the equipment, and a lot of the pipes and stuff can go out. We've had to do things like replace the piping, we've had to replace tiles, we've had to do resurfacing. So it is very expensive in terms of that regard, some of that maintenance and that upkeep, and that's something that not everybody considers. The other downside of a pool is, even here in San Diego, there is a limited season that you can use your pool. We don't have a heated pool in our home. We have just a regular pool, so we really can't use it other than in the summer and then a little bit in the fall. We actually use it a little bit. My husband uses it as a cold plunge here in the winter. And so that is an interesting thing that we weren't expecting. We'll do the cold plunge and then go in the hot tub. And so that is a little bit of a benefit, but really we don't use the pool in the winter very much. And that's probably also true in the Midwest and places like that. You have to close your pool and just open it for the season. So it's a limited use item, which you also are paying a lot of money for, right? The other thing to consider is that your insurance costs can get much higher when you have a pool in your home. So that's another downside and something to consider. You might want to call your insurance company and see what that'll do to your rates before you install the pool. Now, what could you do instead of having a backyard pool? There are things you can do like a hot tub. So that is much less expensive, and it's something that you could use year round, right? You could use it in the summer as well as in the winter. And then the other thing, you could just do an upgraded patio and have great entertaining patio that would be great for having patio furniture. Maybe you get a built-in fire pit, or you have an upgraded barbecue area, so that, and have a nice shade structure. So that's something that you could consider as well. Now it's your turn. I'd love to hear from you. Have you done any of these home upgrades and regretted it later, or have you done any home upgrades that you regretted later? So let me know down in the comments below so you can share your thoughts with the community here. And then if you are interested in getting some designer secrets on how to make your home look expensive and high-end, I have this great video for you here next that you can watch that is all about celebrity design secrets to make your home look luxurious, but on a budget you can actually afford. So watch that one next, and I'll see you in the next video.